Welcome back to Turin. Benetton, Treviso, Lietuvos, Rytas from Lithuania are the second quarterfinal. And they have a game to live up to. If you saw the first quarterfinal here on Eurosport earlier on, as Hema Farm upset tournament favourites Dynamo Moscow. And it's Hema Farm that these two teams are battling out tonight to earn the right to play in the semi-final. We're going to get a quick look at some highlights of the the first quarterfinal, and here's some shots of that victorious Hema Farm team. It was a tremendous performance from Hema Farm. From the perimeter, they were so strong from the three-point line, but down the end of the stretch, they held their nerve. And you can see the emotion on these guys' face. Tremendous performance to upset Dynamo Moscow in the first quarterfinal. And the winner of the game you're just about to see here on Eurosport 2 will face these guys, Hema Farm versus in the semi-final. And we're going to chance to hear what the coach of Hema Farm thinks of what can only be described as a monumental upset in Eurocup basketball. Here's what the Hema Farm coach thought of the game.
We played very tough game, and we have had control all the game. Third quarter start not very well, but we have control after 5 minutes, and it is problem tonight was because free throws 40% shot for for free throws, and other things it is okay. We play very well, very good defense, and I think this is a big result for us. And now no celebration. We must prepare for next game.
You've proved this evening that your young players are very capable of playing with the best teams in Europe. That must be you must be very happy for that.
Yes, it is a concept, my club. With young player, we start to the season, and we have good result in Eurocup, good result in NLB Regional League, and it is I have the best young players in Europe.
You played very offensive basketball this evening, when maybe a lot of the specialists, they thought maybe you play more defensively because Dynamo were a very good attacking team. But you proved that you were very offensive, and it worked.
Yes, we play with, we have a lot of system in offense, and play with a lot of our offense is with a lot of run, with a lot of energy. It is problem for Dynamo because Dynamo is an older player. It is problem. We had a lot more energy of Dynamo.
Thank you very much, Stevan. We'll see you a little bit later. You'll be watching the next match, I'm sure. Sure. And congratulations once again, and we'll see you a bit later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, what a happy coach, and what a happy team Hema Farm will be. A real upset. Moscow, one of the favourites for this whole competition, fall at the first hurdle, and it's Benetton and Lietuvos Rytas who will try to make the next semi-final opponent of Hema Farm. Let's see how their preparations have gone. Well, some pictures here of Rytas as they arrive. You saw Coach Kurinatis there, and Coach Kurinatis has some views on how he thinks his team are going to do this tonight. From my own experience, I know and tell them that it's not always the money that wins. It's not about the big names either. Victory always comes to those ones who have the biggest desire to win. It depends on what shape you're in, how persistent you are. I think we have a slight advantage over other teams in the fact that Lithuania is a small country. We are Lithuanians, we are young, we are ambitious, and we have a strong desire to play. This kind of motivation brings us better results than, for example, expensive players from the US. And here's the Benetton team shooting around on the court here in Turin. And here's Coach Mamuti. See what his views are.
I think that these tournaments, they are not home team, because, you know, everybody is a, let's say, festival of basketball, you know. So it will be the difficult game. It's the first game. It's a first day game. It's every time it's like this. Everybody a little bit maybe stressful. It will be a difficult game. We'll try to adjust and to play our way of playing.
Well, this is how guys relax before a big event like tonight's. And Judson Wallace, one of the American players on the Benetton team, is, well, he'll tell you now how much he's struggling on the Super Mario game. The Ivy League All-Star is not quite as good on the Super Mario as some of his younger teammates.
Right now, I'm not doing so well. You know, the young Italian guys are teaming up and trying to take me down. But you know, it's a long race, and I think I'll get them at the end. We played at like 150, and they have like 50 right now, so I'm trying.
Well, Wallace has been a cornerstone of this Benetton team this year. And let's see what he seriously thinks about his team's chances.
We have a good team. We have a bunch of good guys. We play things like, I mean, it's not just Mario Kart, you know, like we go like to race the go-karts, bowling, you know, we do a lot of things together. So Mario Kart's just part of it, but, you know, we do play a lot of Mario Kart. So, you know, we have fun. I think that's one of the things that's good about our team is we have fun off the court. So Mario Kart's part of it, but it's more than that, you know.
Well, let's see if the Mario Karts can help this team relax before tonight's quarterfinal. Well, you've seen how both teams are coaches, and the players have been preparing for this. But it's one of the big nights of European basketball when you've got two of the top teams who've made it through here to the final 8 here in Turin. And the prize tonight is a semi-final against upset team Hemofarm, who beat Dynamo Moscow earlier on here on Eurosport 2. We're in the Pala de Sport Olimpico in Turin. Crowd filling up. It'll be a big crowd because of Benetton being the team that's representing the home country here in terms of the only Italian team in the final 8. And it's the Treviso team who really the pressure's on. They're here at home and have really got to come up with the goods to keep the home interest alive in this tournament. It's a bit of a resurgence for Benetton Treviso, one of the big names of European basketball. Had some barren times in terms of European success, but in 3 days' time, hopefully this coach will want his team to have their name back on a winning banner in European basketball. And the Eurocup is one of the established events now in the European calendar, and the pressure is really on this team at home. And let's take a look at this Treviso lineup. Well, there's the lineup, and the name that jumps out at everybody statistically anyway is Gary Neal. He's had a tremendous season leading this team in points. We saw Judson Wallace. Hopefully he'll be better than he was at Mario Kart, but Gary Neal's the man that's leading this team and giving them the opportunity to win a European title. And we're just going to get courtside now to pick up the first of the interviews.
You're playing at home against Rytas. The pressure of playing on home soil with an Italian team, is that making it more difficult?
I think it's no home team here. You know, everybody came with their own fans, so you know, it's a festival of basketball. When you see around, you will see that there are team fans from everywhere. Pressure is part of the sport. So you know, I think that is part of the sport, and we have to handle this.
We're seeing two teams with plenty of European experience on court this evening. Does that make it going to be a really big battle out there tonight?
I think that all of the games here will be tough games, you know. At the end, one have to win, but all of the games have to be, will be the tough games. Because all of the teams deserve it really to be here, and I think they have a quality to show the good basketball.
Now, Rytas have some great shooters out there, of course, with their veteran coach. Have you got a game plan to try and cancel that out?
Of course, that we prepare something for them is normal, like they prepare for us. They have a typical Lithuanian way of they are representative of Lithuanian basketball with a lot of running, a lot of athleticism, a lot of three-point shots, and we try to do our best to control the rhythm of the game.
Okay, good luck. Thanks very much. See you later.
Thanks to you.
Well, there's this year's Coach of the Year in the Eurocup. And he obviously has prepared his team. That's what he's paid to do. That's one of the guys there he's really would have prepared for. Chuck Edson, one of the players of the season for Rytas. The emotion of this team is Chuck Edson. He's led this team in points all season. Every time we've seen him on Eurosport 2, we saw him in France when we were covering the Eurocup 2 or 3 years ago, and he is always a major factor. The emotion of the team goes with Chuck Edson. Let's take a look now at the Rytas lineup, and there it is. And Edson is the guy who stands out there, 16 points a game, and he also chips in with 6 rebounds. But that the whole team is, as coach said, is a lineup that represents all that's good about Lithuanian basketball. And we're going to have the chance here to talk to Coach Kurinetis. And Karina's going to have a chance to speak to Coach Kurinetis right now.
You have got lots of young players coming in. How well have they fitted into the team?
So everything is perfect. We are ready to play tonight, so we want to play well, and we will see maybe success is coming to us.
And how do the young players feel? Do they feel confident enough?
Yeah, for sure, because we are young, but we have some experience, this level of competition, so everything is perfect.
The club had quite a slow start in the season. What changes have you introduced that made it possible for the team to come to the Final 8?
It's nothing, every one of us, we want to win. That's it, what we want.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Wow, there's the coach. Both coaches are really prepared. Well, we're prepared here covering this game, and both coaches there really talked about the preparation. With me, as always, covering these games on Eurosport 2 is Martin Hedlund. Preparation of these guys. Both teams are free-flowing scoring teams, Martin.
Yeah, free-flowing scoring teams is what you said, Mark. One little thing you'll notice, though, you've seen the shoot-around with some great overhead shots to the basket when there's balls aggregating in there. It means the nets are new, they're tight, so the ball's not going to come to the basket quick, which actually will slow down fast break opportunities. But championship time like this, it's not going to be end-to-end stuff. Both teams are exceptionally efficient offensive, and as you already talked about, the likes of Gary Neal, great scorer. This man here, Chuck Edson, who's playing point guard, but he's a point forward. This is a tournament where you just let it all go. You just play, bring your best talent, and hope that these guys here don't do too many things upset you.
Well, nice mix of officials there from Spain, Greece, and Latvia, but the other thing is, on the inside, neither of these teams have good quality players, but that's not the strength of either of these teams from shooting. Could it be the big guys who could really be the difference here?
I think the way Benetton responds to the quote-unquote pressure of being the perceived home team is going to make the big difference tonight. Rytas are much younger, they're bigger, but you're right, the inside players there'll be a big ding-dong battle, but I think it's the lift that Benetton could get from this home crowd. I think their guard play is crucial, though. If Gary Neal goes off for 30 points, it's going to be a good night for them. But the other thing, for Rytas, yes, they've got to establish themselves inside and early. For Treviso against Nisovic, Nisovic is a wily veteran. We know he's going to get his calls. If Treviso comes up with 17, 18 points tonight, then that could cancel out the Nisovic factor.
Well, both teams have a tradition in European basketball. You saw the caption there as the Benetton team are introduced, that Rytas, if they get all the way to the final, will have the chance to become the first team to win this competition twice. And they've been a regular competitor in the latter stages. They've been the losing finalists on a number of occasions, but as that caption tells you, Benetton are no stranger to European success. One of the real powerhouses of Italian basketball, and now they've got their chance after a few years of lack of success to really stamp their name back in the record books of European basketball. Well, the crowd is building up, though. We have got a wider shot. You can see those seats really starting to fill up. And how much of a factor will that home? Would it be a home crowd? Because, you know, there's the partisan nature, the cheering crowd. Are they going to get behind Benetton? Well, there's the starting fives, Martin. And anything jump out of that for you?
No, well, it's exactly what we expected to see. You know, Chuck Edson, we know, is going to lead the way and lead the line for Rytas. For me, you look at Benetton, and of course Gary Neal is going to have to put up the points, but snap big, the number 10, Sandro Nisovic, he's omnipresent in games like this. If he plays 40 minutes and gets his 18 points, 10 rebounds, and drawing 7 or 8 fouls, that will be the difference maker for Benetton. The home crowd could work against them, though, in that they could be too pumped up for this. They're favoured, but actually, if you look on paper, okay, there's the home advantage being in Italy, but this Rytas team, don't overlook them. And I think we've always seen in the first game tonight here a team that was overly confident. Benetton played 4th, 5th place team in the Italian league, whereas Rytas is right there. They've won the Lithuanian Cup, Final 4 in the Baltic League, Final 8 in the Eurocup. This team knows how to win and win at tournament time. That's the difference maker for me. That's why if my neck had to drop on that big block that you're going to put yours onto, I'd tell you to put your money on Rytas.
Well, I'm a big fan of Lithuanian basketball, and I think Chuck Edson really suits their style of play. But I think, you know, let's get some parity here. Let's say that I'll back the Benetton, the Greens here, and the home team.
That's just because you're a Boston Celtics fan. I'm glad you didn't agree with me, because if you did, then I'd actually change my mind and put my money on Benetton.
Well, if we both agreed, there's no way they could carry the weight of both our money. So it's going to be, it would obviously be a nail in the coffin for Rytas if we both support them.
Like you said, you put your mortgage on it, but of course, since you don't have one,
well,
you're free in Clark Towers.
Well, it's coming out of Clark Towers for this game is one of the buzz of the season, though, because we remember last year what a great competition this was, and what a game we saw with Mick and Roy earlier on, and what a performance from Hema Farm. We covered them last week of the last 16, and they've come up with the upset win. So no team is safe in this competition, are they?
You know, we've covered the ULEB Cup and now Eurocup for a number of years now, and this is the first year when you've got to this stage, the final 8 of this competition, and it truly is open. There are perceived favourites. A lot of people are backing Kimki, but year after year they've always found a way to choke. Moscow have choked already so far this year. I wouldn't write up any of these teams. Hema Farm would have been the rank outsider coming into this tournament, and next would have been Rytas. Both teams have got the quality, and you're talking about home advantage for Benetton. These guys in red and black, they're going to have a few things to say tonight as well.
Well, those guys have had a long trip. Most of those guys would have been in a car, they'd have driven whatever route it took. They'd do anything to watch their team play. It is a religion in Lithuania basketball, and those guys are going to shout that team home. It's almost totally outnumbered, but they will make themselves heard against the bare-chested Italians. Quarter-final action, game 2, the second quarter-final in the Eurocup here in Turin, the final 8, the culmination of one of the best seasons we've seen here on Eurosport 2. Quality games every single week, and now we've got the 8 best teams going head-to-head, and at this point in time, the prize for Rytas or for Benetton, Hema Farm versus AK, await them in the semi-final on Saturday night. Well, Martin's tipped Rytas, and I've given a bit of parity here in the booth to go with Benetton Treviso.
You know what's wrong with that? What you're saying is Martin's chosen Rytas, so I've gone with the green.
No.
You're trying to cover yourself. Be strong.
No.
I think Rytas is going to win.
I have to go here with Benetton, because I'm sure Saranga is going to really prove me wrong after the last game and hit some more threes. But Benetton control the basketball, and it's about tempo for them. Saranga. And here's Neal, puts it on the floor, gets to the keyway. Great kick. Baleri for 3 is long, and this will be a key. Will Rytas try and push the ball? No, Edson wants to have a look. They're going to slow it down and try and get that Lithuanian-style movement going. We've got a whistle, quick whistle on that. Valeri gets caught reaching. Well, Valeri's one of the most, Massimo Valeri, one of the most experienced players on the sideline. Disappointing to see him get that early foul. Here's Edson. Pass to the wing, and Mendauskas looks at it. Mendauskas goes inside.
What we expected, going right to the block, get the big fella moving, get the ball inside and out.
Oh.
That's Rytas basketball. You can see Coach Rytas has been there with this team for about 4 or 5 months now. He's stamped his personality on it, and they play very efficient basketball.
Here's Judson Wallace, gives it up to the wing. Valeri looking inside, a lot of screening away from the ball. Trying to back in, goes to work with the jump hook and gets the drop. And the Sajovic, well, we've highlighted people before the game, and he did not disappoint. Excellent move.
Oh, Mark, Crockett, anyone think we did this for a living? Both teams did exactly what we thought they'd do. Rytas established Treviso on the inside-out game. Benetton right down the gut. Sandro Nicevic goes, been there, won at every level. You know, they've got to get him going early, and it shows we're in for a real treat on the basketball court tonight.
Edson turned over on the penetration, and it's brought down the floor by Sarenga and just almost turned back over.
Mark, I'll point something out there because you just saw a good defensive stand there by Benetton. Now, Coach Mahmouti is known, he's you know, the coach of the year, and he's had a really great free scoring team in Benetton, but his trademark is his defense. So this team, if Benetton steps and adds some D, and guys like Neil get hot, they could live up to the mantle, because the bookies have got them as the favourites to win this weekend.
Well, Gary Neal didn't even think about that one. Got his feet set, just knocked down the big three. Edson faked the penetration kick. Penetration to the keyword. Treviso thinks about it. Edson will put that one up, and it's way off. Great rebound by Wallace. Chance here. Valeri looks long, and we'll pull it up, and we'll set, and sets it up. Valeri on the penetration. Bad decision, right into traffic. Off to the races go Giamantas, gets to the hoop and finishes beautifully on the break. Arturas Giamantas gets the 2. 6-5 Benetton lead.
If Giamantas gets going, that strong defense and seizing the opportunity for a transition basket, that could be the difference maker in a game that's going to be absolutely going to go all the way to the wire. The teams that make the most of opportunities like that, broken plays, transition baskets, because we know we get down to the fourth quarter, this is going to end up being a quarter-court grinded-out game.
Just goes to the inside, goes up with a jump hook, doesn't get the drop. No offensive rebounders at all for Rytas.
What Rytas missed then is you've got to have offensive rebounders. They've got to go to the boards with him. But Treviso's made a strong move, and now let's see the difference here. How many green shirts are going after that?
Not many either, and it's no team is going to shoot their way to the semi-final. It's on the penetration, kicks, but Treviso doesn't even think about the long 2. Wants to run something else. Beautiful pass. Excellent backdoor cut. Giamantas with another 2. And Petric, what a beautiful, beautiful backdoor pass.
Well, we've been hard on Treviso sometimes this year, but he's a confidence player, and if he can get a couple of passes off, get a couple of layups, and play some tough defense with Nicevic, his confidence will raise. And there, C.J. Wallace just battling with was that Zavakas?
Yeah, Zavakas on the inside.
Zavakas saying, what, who, me?
It's one of those things that were linked arms. Someone had to be called for something, and it's always going to be the defensive player. So Benetton ball on the sideline, and Matteo Salanga will bring the ball in. Valeri, who hasn't started many games, he was added to the team during the season. Off the dribble for 2. Sweet off the dribble pull-up.
Yeah,
gives Benetton back the lead.
He joined his team late in the season. Valeri, Saragna, Nicevic, guys who've been around, know how to win at certainly an Italian Cup level and Italian League level. So he might not have played a lot of games, but he knows what he's doing on the floor.
Well, another 3 for Zavakas is no good, and it's a chance of Benetton. And this is clearly the plan here for Benetton. They're going to try and control the tempo. Move the ball. Let Rytas spend a lot of time on defense. Wallace to the basket, misses the easy layup, and we got a blocking foul on Valeri. That'll be his 2nd foul, and that's an early 2 for him. He thinks he got position, And it looks like he's going to have 2 fouls early. Normally means you sit down.
Yeah, and I think he probably will sit down. Look, we'll see that young man Saragner out here pretty quickly. Some of the nagging concerns and worries I've got about Benetton. CJ Wallace there, just blowing the layup. It's very easy to get carried away in the hype of a competition like this, a Final 8 format, because he wouldn't have played anything like this, even in his days in Princeton, certainly not. Great pass by Hudson Bellis, got to be ready to catch that ball.
Well, going to be deep on the shot clock now, 7 seconds. Gimentas to the basket, is fouled.
They're going to call that travel.
No, they could have called out a travel, and Martin quite rightly said Gimentas jumped through their help defense. Deshaun Wood has stepped into the game for Benetton, and he was heavily involved there. Posse, he was reaching,
good defense.
Got his feet,
kept his man in front of him. Didn't reach, and just when the ball was put into his hands, basically he pulled it. And Deshaun Wood, he's an important part of this puzzle. You talk about European clone players. Everybody wants to find a big man. Everybody wants to find a point guard that looks like Derek Sharp, and that's what Deshaun Wood is.
And Gary Neal will always make appearances on the scoreboard. Another 2 points, strong move. 10-7 from Benetton.
This kid, Gary Neal, could end up being, talent-wise, as good as the likes of Henry Williams in Italian basketball. He's such a great scorer. He's an unconventional, he's a good shooter. He's already hit the deep three. And he's a guy that, because he hasn't got the NBA on his resume, people will probably undermine him, but he's an extremely talented player. And well, you see Bjelica trying to say to Sandra Nisovic, welcome to the tournament.
Gets called for the offensive foul there, does Belica, and another whistle. And the referee, all 3 of them had to go at that one, and they're making sure this game is controlled.
Yeah, and you and I both know that at this stage, quarterfinal stage, game like this, it's going to be very physical in the paint. There aren't any super athletes, so there's a lot of what I call ground warriors, banging bodies down there, and the referee's just going to call a few elbows early, just to make sure that the more aggressive players don't take a hold too early in this game.
Well, Batalikas is in the game. He was called for that foul, the number 4 is... there's Rytas again. There's that high post pick and roll. Kick, Zavakis kicks it to the wing. Gimentas looks to turn the corner, gets to the keyway, kick. Zavakis thinks about the 3, puts it on the floor, almost turns it over. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Belica goes to work on the inside, should finish that, and does.
And we've talked about this before, Mark, we've seen Benetton. The best way with Nisovic is no pump fakes, take it right at him, and that's what Bjelica did a great job of there. Strong to the basket, don't think about any shot blocking or anything like that. Nisovic isn't the one for that, and that was a great execution of an offense.
Oh, that's a nice screen as Gary Neal came off it, but doesn't make the 3-pointer. Benetton by 1. And there's just 4 minutes to go, so really quick first 6 minutes. And we've got a foul on Nisovic on the baseline. A little bit of a tic-tacky one there. Didn't really need to get involved.
And Mark, here's the other thing that's predictable with Sandro Nisovic. He'll play most of the game. He'll end up the game with 2 fouls. I mean, there's a few players, actually a couple of players, there's a player in the studio that played a lot of years without picking up many fouls. He just manages to, he'll get his early one, and it's almost like acknowledging to the referee, yes, I'm here, thank you for your call foul. And then he won't get another one there for 30 minutes. I get the feeling that this Benetton team are either going to be a hit or a bust. I don't think there's going to be any half measures with them. Gary Neal, first time in this environment. CJ Wallace, first time at this sort of level. They're either going to be great or they're going to be dreadful.
That's a super step through by Gimentas. That's a strong, sweet move by Arturas Gimentas, and he is literally on fire early in the game.
And talk about somebody who's stepped up his game. Gimentas not normally the first option, unlike that man there, Gary Neal.
Well, it's Gary Neal's answering there. That's his 7th point. Gimentas has enough. Zavakis with a 3 in rhythm, but he's long again, and we got a foul on the offensive rebounds by Babarauskas, and Babarauskas, it's good to see these guys go to the glass. That's the first time we've seen people compete on the offensive boards. And then you get there's the foul on the arm. Good call by the official. Well, it's there he is. There's the foul call. That's his 2nd foul on Babarauskas.
And Mark, you're right. It's good to see them crashing the board, but early foul trouble for Rytas. They put Benetton into the bonus with 3.5 minutes left. And Nicevic here, I was about to say, he's not a great he's a 70-something% free throw shooter. You can see there's no concern, no stress for him. I think Wallace has been a bit out of sorts so far in this game. I'd like to see another one of the Italian young kids come in, bring some energy. We saw Renzi a couple of months ago put a great performance out there. I like the way Rytas are playing at the moment. Lukaska's a strong drive to the basket here. They feel like they've got a very disciplined game plan in place at the moment.
Well, it's a 13-11 game with 3 to go in the first. Zasavic going to work, spins to the baseline. He's probably done that a million times. In practice, it's a superb execution of that turn to the baseline.
He does very simple basketball moves, and it's nothing spectacular. Just look at the stat sheet at the end of the game, and his team invariably will end up on top.
Goes inside. Petrica's going up. It's got to go up. It's got to go up strong. Doesn't go up strong. Good defense with Zasavic. Great hunting the pack on the offensive boards there. As 3 Rytas players just would not let Benetton get that defensive rebound. Wow, made him change his shot. Lukauskas, who would normally shoot that, made him change. Excellent decision on the break by Deshaun Wood. And the 3 is knocked down. And there's that energy. And there's Lorbeck. Lorbeck did this the last time on Eurosport 2 when we saw him play. Stepped off the bench, got the ball, made the 3. He's a 50+% three-point shooter. And he's another one of that nationality that we love to talk about here. Another Slovenian who's simply a great basketball player.
Yeah, we talk about the great Slovenian, best team you never heard of. Well, they've pulled out of the GB tournament this summer now, so we won't get the opportunity to scout them before Eurobasket. You see Gary Neal stroking the 3. Both teams have come out very aggressive trying to get to the basket. A lot of fouls called early. We said that Benetton already in the bonus, and the team that makes the fewest mistakes, you tend to think is going to come out on top in this one. It's a great performance so far. Benetton living up to the hype of having the home team advantage. And there you see Bielitsa going right down the throat of Sandro Nicevic.
Well, the timeout here called by Rytas. They made a couple of 3s, but most of those in transition. They just lost people in transition, and you're leaving great shooters wide open.
Well, great graphic there. That's the reason why you need a timeout, is to say, well, hold on a second. We've got the Eurocup MVP, not done anything. Hasn't put up he's got a bunch of donuts across the board so far.
Martin picked up the stat there during the end of that timeout about Chagets, and as we said, the MVP of this competition hasn't taken a shot in 8 minutes of basketball. When was the last time that happened to him?
Well, it's not so much. Oh, wow.
Oof.
Look at this. Nicevic giving high fives because the referee, another call went his way. You think I had a grudge against this guy or something, but it's incredible. He's such a smart player there. But Brauskas picks up his 3rd foul. They try to go load small, a guard screening on the big man, which you never see the referee call the foul on the screen by the guard. Nicevic, though, because he's smart, gets his feet in the right place, all of a sudden the referee gets a foul. Great pass. Beautiful
pass as Wallace, who needs to get himself going. Well, Nicevic found a way to get him the ball.
Great confidence by Coach Mamuti to leave Wallace on the floor, who's had a very quiet start to this game.
Eats him for 3, gets himself going off that screen. And they needed that. They've been pointless there for 2 minutes. Finally get the scoreboard ticking over. Eats in now to that lead that Benetton are building, 20-14, and there's 1:40 to go in the first quarter. Here's Deshaun Wood. Turns down the screen and rightly gets the layup.
Great quickness.
Oh, super first step.
He's got that joke to the Derek Sharp mentality. He'll make the big shot for you. Aggressive defender, very quick, undersized maybe. But if he can be half the player that Derek Sharp has been from Maccabi Tel Aviv, then they've got a great one in their midst.
Eaton slips through the double team, steps back, makes the 2. No one else touched the ball on that offense for Rytas. And well, after that timeout, Eaton has come out and decided to put his stamp on this game.
Well, part of that, Mark, is because Edson tries to get all his players involved, all his teammates involved. And, Coach, this is not a time for getting teammates involved. You've got to take over, and you know, we've talked about before, he's a guy that can go for 30. This may have to be one of those nights.
Well, great recognition by Nicevic. Saw the little matchup zone, flash to the high post, gets the 2 points away.
If he gets his jumper going, Mark, then he's a real handful. Normally you can back off him a step or so at that free throw line jump shot, but if he gets that going...
And it's not really going Rytas' way the last minute or so as Danis gets the turnover off his foot. Needs to make some changes, and here are those changes. Martinez Gesavikas is in the game at number 31. And they're ringing the changes. That's the 9 players now who've played for Rytas in the first quarter. There's this little zone here, matchup zone. Wide open Gary Neal. Well, whatever defense you're in, you cannot leave that man open. And it's all Benetton in the last 2 minutes or so of this first quarter. They'd eaten that by 11. They've opened it right up in no time. Double team on Idsen. Someone's got to be open. Vakas thinks about it, turns it down. Great job on the defensive end by Benetton. Wide open in the corner. That's way off. Great work on the glass, though. Vakas gets there from the foul line to get that one. They're showing Petrovikas, but I think that was Vakas who rebounded from the foul line. But at the end of the first quarter of the second quarterfinal, it's Benetton who've established the lead. The Italian crowd are happy, and they lead 27-18. Tremendous performance by Benetton. Don't write off Rytas. We'll be back after the commercial break. Well, welcome back just at the start now of the second quarter. What a performance by Benetton in that first quarter, Martin.
I mean, an offensive onslaught, 27 points. You couldn't ask for anything more. And the right defensive numbers. We always say keep them under 20, so your target's 18 or lower as a safe bet. Right on the numbers defensively, and great offensive performance, very efficient. 9 for 10 from inside the three-point line. That's pretty good going for the team in green.
Pretty good going, in particular because it's a big game. Sometimes you see teams come out a little bit tight, things aren't flowing. That's how it is. Rytas haven't been that bad. They have 18 points. Petrovikas goes to the inside. There's a whistle. They're going to call him on a travel. And there was too much traffic there anyway. The pass should really not have gone to him. 3, he's already triple teamed on the pass. Just read the floor.
Well, this is little things make difference in big games. Foul count's important as well. Benetton's only committed 3 fouls to 6 by Rytas. It's noticeable that Rytas hasn't shot a free throw yet.
The shot, how quick is he?
Yeah, he's lightning quick, but he's very small. Pocket rocket. So if you've got deep pockets, he won't be able to score on you.
Well, here are Rytas.
Yeah, I like this clear. Get some space on the floor. You see they're sagging in really tightly. You've got to try and draw some fouls. You've got to get some contact, especially, and capitalize at times like this when Nisevic is sitting on the bench.
Well, and we mentioned that in the first quarter. They've rung the changes on the inside. The Slovak Rancic is in the game. And one of our, big successes that we saw, Rancic, Andre Rancic, number 19, had a great game earlier in the tournament.
Yeah, Renzi just really came up with big numbers on a game that didn't appear to mean very much. A lot of pressure here for Rancic, though. He's picked up his first fouls. The camera shows us him and his tats. It's easy to say you fill the shoes of a guy like Nisevic, but the longer he can play and sustain that lead, the more you can get a rest for the big fella. Now, I like this by Kurtinitis. He's shown a matchup zone. Now he's showing a bit of full court pressure. And Benetton, if they get overconfident, then this team here, Rytas, will oblige and come right back into it.
Well, Neal way off with that 3. Don't need to shoot it all that quickly that time. Edson answers down the other end and nails a 3.
Wow, Mark, he goes from 0 for 1 and then all of a sudden makes his next 3. And we know he can score in bunches. Gary Neal, that was, to me, is a good shot. I want him to shoot almost every time he touches the ball.
Well, he looks like he does too, so.
He's obliging, isn't he? He's a percentage, and then the coach Mahmoud will know whether or not he's on, because if his game is on, he'll go for 30 points, he'll go for 40 points. So if not, you just sit him down and,
there's a foul on Edson. That's what you were saying there. They've got to try and get those foul counts up. And
by getting some penetration off that high pick and roll and the player movement on the baseline, the defenders aren't fixed, they aren't balanced. And see, O'Neal missed a couple of shots. Coach sit him down, just ice his elbow, get him back, and then you bring in Saragna. That's good because it makes you bigger, makes it easier to guard Chuck Edson, because with Edson at the point, with an undersized Gary Neal trying to guard, a great drop step there for Treviso. This is much better offensive performance by Rytas.
Wow,
and defensively as well now, they've got to pick it up.
7-0 start to the second quarter for Rytas. Much more energized defensively. Benetton, wide open, wide open, make the pass. Rancic goes to work, misses the jump hook. had the young man Renzi wide open. Great hustle by the youngster. And it will be a reset, as Deshaun Wood says, hang on, let's run another set. Little show by Zavakis will probably get called. Oh, they've just called for the footwork. So there'll be a new 24-second. And we've got a timeout by Benetton, much needed, with a 7-0 start for Rytas. What have they changed there?
Oh, well, they've changed. We were talking about, they've spread the floor offensively. They've got more aggressive going to the basket off the high screen and roll. They've got great movement baseline as well. See players cutting through, which has got the Benetton defense, which was standing around before, so they could just ball watch. Now they've got to find out where their man is creating holes, as we saw for Treviso get the easy drop step layup, and there we get the kick ball. Defensively, they're a bit more. They're maintaining their aggression. They committed a lot of fouls in the first quarter, and we always talk about this. If you're aggressive early on, the referees can't call every foul.
Well, there's an interesting stat about the quality of this tournament, Barbarossa and Bulleri. We just saw on that stat the quality of these guys who play EuroLeague. This Europe Cup is a great second-tier competition. The winner of this competition gets a spot in the EuroLeague, so there's a load of things to play for, and that's why these guys from Lithuania have made that huge journey all the way down, and they're so passionate. But what a great response from the coach, what a great response from the team to that tremendous performance by Benetton in the first quarter.
It's nice to be here as the underdog, and that makes the pressures off Benetton. The fans of Rytas, the fans of Rytas as well. They're staying for the whole weekend. They want their team to win. Don't get me wrong, but they're true fans. They're not going to get down on them if they're losing by 10 points.
Rancic is...
Travel, but they're going to call a foul.
I think about him out on that one. I thought he dragged his foot through there as well, but...
And Mark, I said how important it was to play of Rancic. He won't turn up big in the stat sheet, but the little that he does is very important. If he can give you a little 6-8 points that you weren't expecting, draw a couple of fouls, it's just enough to keep your nose in front.
Oh, should have been a 5-second call. I'd have said, here's Rancic, tries to force it, finds Seranga. Good ball movement. They find Nicevic. That was maybe not the first option from that far, but Rancic, 1-on-3 on the boards, comes up with it, and that will be a Benetton ball, almost stolen by Chagitson. But nice ball movement by Benetton, but without Gary Neal, they just don't look the same team from the perimeter.
Well, the issue was they had great ball movement, and they got and it left Sandra Nicevic open for a jump shot with 1 foot on the three-point line. He needs to turn that shot down and then pull it out and set something else up.
Eaton picks up his foul as Deshaun Wood showed that quickness.
And the thing is, the way you negate Deshaun Wood's quickness is you take a step off him, because he is quite short, undersized, shall we say. And he's not a great three-point shooter. He's a three-point shooter if you catch off the screen. He's not going to stand there and fake and all of a sudden nail the three. He wants to get to the basket. So back up off him, Chuck.
Well, he's got to back off him now after he's pulled his second foul. Vasavic releases the pressure again at the high post. Zavakis guarding him. Little switch there. Seranga mishandles. Eaton will get 2. From the defense, points off your defense. Great job by Eaton. Don't pick up your third foul 60 feet from the hoop, but
great shout out there to the big man Marjanis Petrevicius there. Stepped out big and strong in the pick and roll, forcing the turnover, got Edson the easy dunk.
Well, Rancic finds the Savage again in that spot. They obviously like the idea of him shooting. It's not his game, though.
Well, he shoots that shot a lot, but it's not where he's best. That's been the one criticism I've had of him. And anytime I've played against him, you just kind of fake at him, hedge at him. He's not so confident up there. He causes you damage. He gets you down in the gut under the basket. Oh, you've got to catch the ball.
Rytas with a chance to take their first lead of the game. What a great start. They've kept Benetton pointless for 4 minutes. Jauskas with a 3, and he was off balance. He wasn't looking good, but Mindauskas, Lukauskas with the 3, 30-27. That's 12-0 at the start of this second quarter. What was I thinking at the end of the first, saying how tough it was going to be for Rytas. And another turnover. The wheels are coming off the Benetton wagon here in the second quarter. How long will it be before Gary Neal comes back into the game? Will they have to get Bulleri back with those 2 fouls?
Well, Neal's back in the game as we speak. They're sitting down Lawbeck. Now, the issue is, you're right. You need Gary Neal in because you've got more offensive punch. But the thing is, Lorbeck just didn't touch the ball. The one time he touched it, he nailed a 3. So this is the big substitution. It's Valeri for Wood. Although Deshaun Wood's quickness is outstanding and of great importance for his team, he creates shots for himself. He's not a great passer, a distributor of the ball.
Here's Edson to the keyway, and that will be just a turnover. Doesn't like the call, thought he was actually knocked a bit on that penetration. Let's have another look. Gets to the keyway. I think no foul. Saranga would have been a very disappointed man if he was called for a foul there. There was nothing to call, I didn't think, but here's Valeri with 2 fouls. There are some interesting foul situations on the floor. We've got Edson on 2 and Valeri on 2, so the defensive effort might have to be a little bit careful.
They've got to keep the aggression up, though. You see just 7-2 there picking up his foul. They can't tone down the defense. What they need is a bit of a mind game with the referees, where they've called all the aggression fouls like that, which they didn't call that time. And then when you get to the 4th quarter, they won't call them, as Rancic comes up taking on a soft foul and giving the M1. I like the effort he's put out there on the floor tonight.
Well, great demonstration of how to be a role player. Comes off the bench, does what he does. This is a nice, strong move. Gets it there, uses the backboard, gets the 2, and now he's got to step up, make the free throw, tie the game. Let's start again at 30-30 on the back of this free throw by Rancic. Makes it, there we go, 30-30, halfway through the 2nd quarter, and nothing between these teams. Wow, this is a hell of a night of European basketball already. Here's Edson. They show that little double team, finds the back, is wide open. He's got to start making those. At the moment, he's been off on every single shot. Downitz with a great offensive rebound. Edson thinks it and gets it out. He calls for the foul off the official there on the offensive boards, but he gets the pick from Petricus. Edson almost travels. Zabakis to the basket, gets the 2. Beautiful little fake through that move.
Great hustle by Rytas, Mark. So they're going to get open shots. The important thing for Rytas is to get second opportunities. They crashed the ball, 3 offensive rebounds then, 2 offensive rebounds then rather. So 3 cracks at the cherry, and eventually breaking down the Benetton defense.
Oh, good effort again. They've got Gary Neal falling back, tough shot, but makes it. All of a sudden, the referees are calling nothing. Both coaches want calls, but hey, there they go again in the half court. Backs it out.
They need somebody else to be able to handle do the ball handling duties. Edson's going to get worn out if he's got to do this for 4.
Fouled on the 3-pointer.
Stupid foul.
Oof.
That's one of those fouls. That one there, yeah. Saranga's trying to clean the sole of his shoes, the sole of his conscience. Put a hand on the hip. Thank you very much, coach. Sit him right down.
Don't like that. Come and talk to me.
Yeah. 3-point shooter. That's, you get away with that when you're playing at home against a team that's 3 divisions lower than you, and you're up by 30 points. You don't get that call in the final 8 of the Eurocup.
Here's Edson on the free throw line. He doesn't normally miss his free throws. That'll probably mean he missed one of these, but he's a 76% free throw shooter, but he shoots a lot of them. Makes the 2nd.
Interesting decision by Benetton. Now, you can see the benefit of putting a bigger player on Edson, which makes it more difficult for him to see the floor and make so many great passes. But because he's got ball handling duties, I would like the idea of putting a smaller point guard on him, the natural position, and really bother him. So he's got to work really hard to get the ball up the court. And they're going with the big option for now, but expect to see some more small athletic guards on him.
That's a beautiful play. That's just excellent execution. Sorry to does not finish the point there. Let's look at this. Nasajevic, we didn't get a real picture of it there. They ran the high post there.
It's the 2nd time they've done that. They've done that for C.J. Wallace, got his layup earlier on for that. Spread the floor, put these to sleep. Zabakis, bit of ball watching. As soon as the ball hit the high post, little hedge, and Rancic took off to the back. You don't often see the guy in the 4 position making a backdoor cut for 11. But the key to that is the excellent pass, bounce pass by the 5-man, the post player, Nisevic. Getting him open, drawing the foul, but he blew the free throw.
And there's Danis, who's now taken over the point guard duties from Edson. That's an important rotation for Rytas. Edson cannot go 40 minutes handling the ball and scoring. Danis now, 9 seconds on the shot clock. They need a pick. Gets 2 high post screens, turns the corner, gets to the basket, kicks it, someone's got to shoot it. Lietuvos gets it away with Valeri, almost. He was inside his shorts on that shot.
I'm telling you, Mindaugas Lietuvos, we know he's got a little bit to prove. He's the only guy in this Rytas team that was part of the squad when they won the Eurocup, or Eurocup Cup it was 3 years ago. But he didn't play that night they won the championship game. He was injured that year, so now he wants to give his heart and soul, and wow, what a crunch jump shot he just nailed.
Well, Gary Neal, they're all over him defensively. I've got a little bit of sympathy with him. He was almost bumped out of court. He's trying to explain that to the official. But at the moment, after being red hot for a quarter, Benetton literally their whole offense has really stagnated. Five points.
A 21-5 run, Mark. That's how good it was.
And he said too much on that corner. He gave up the technical foul. And Lietuvos on the free throw line makes the first.
You know, one of those the banners that came up earlier on, what graphics we saw earlier, was the fact that there's only 2 non-Lithuanian teams on Rytas, and you know how much I bleat on about the importance of domestic players. You've got these fans who have travelled down. You feel much more a part of them because you share that national bond. It's okay to be xenophobic in the final 8 of the Eurocup, and that's something that works in their favour.
And here's Easton at the point now. Gets the high post screen. Petrovicus goes there. On the floor, Jomantas tried to find Petrovicus, but 3-on-2, 3-on-3, great rotation back. But Gary Neal still puts up the off-balance mid-range 2 at the end of the break. And I know we like him to shoot, but that was good defensive transition by Rytas. Got bodies back quickly. 3 minutes to go. Second quarter. Foul on the penetration and one. Jomantas makes the 2. And it's been about Jomantas. I need some points-wise for Rytas, but it's been about the team defensively.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Mark, those are the guys that put the numbers on the board, and you see Jomantas picking up a soft foul. If they called that on Wallace, or is it Valeri reaching in? But it's been the aggression of Rytas I've been so impressed with. Even though they were down 9 points, that's because we said they shut the lights out in the first quarter of Benetton, but they've kept the defensive pressure up, and now they rule in the backboards.
Well, you're getting pictures here of the Rytas timeout, and we're deep in the second quarter. They've absolutely dominated this second quarter. They now have a lead when they were down 9 at the start, as we said before, 22 points to 5, and there's still minutes to go in this second quarter. And the rotations at the start of there's the push. That's the Gary Neal. There's the tech.
Faking of throwing the ball at the referee. That's not intelligent. Even if it's a bad call, that's the kind of thing that referees will take a lot of things. A quiet word, you can even swear at them a little bit. You know, no one hears it. You humiliate them with something like that makes a referee flinch across into the Eurosport audience of 34 million homes. They're going to call a tech.
It's all gone from one extreme to another for Benetton.
Mark, just to highlight the hustle difference. Rytas out-rebounding Benetton 14-7 at the moment. They're doubling them on the rebounds. Turnovers, assists makes no difference. It's just, this is sheer heart and passion, and this is what had me tipping them at the beginning of the game. They still, on paper, shouldn't beat Benetton, but you know, Nicevic is not going to get you 30 points. He's not going to get enough touches to get 30 points.
Well, Valeri penetrates, got to find someone. And there's a foul called. There's a foul called on Jomantas as Wallace faked, got him in the air a little bit, got him off balance, drew the contact. There it is. It's a little smart play by Wallace. You'd expect that of a Princeton graduate.
Yeah.
Got to make his throws, though.
I'm going to be hard on him right here. I know it's part of what the Euroleague, Eurocup, ULEB organisation have asked the players, that's all the players to blog and get into the spirit of the competition. He needs to have done a little less of the the periphery promotion for the benefit of Eurocup. A little more focus on getting down and dirty.
Oh, he's feeling it. He definitely feeling it, is Lukauskas.
Look at that, another rebound.
Tremendous effort, and Petrović's great protection of the basketball. Offensive effort of the team. And Petrović's gets the 2, 43-34.
And Treviso is not the headline player. Everyone's talking about Sandro and Nicevic. Treviso, when they were in Rytas in Euroleague last year, he averaged almost 14 points a game. These guys can play. All they need is confidence. And, well, you're 9 points up as you get to the dog end of the second quarter. They've got confidence aplenty.
Well, Baleri's going to go to the free throw line now, and you've got to find ways to get points. And if this is the way they have to get points ticking over, this is where it's got to happen. They've got to start making some free throws, start getting shots. Might need to slow the tempo a little bit. They've been a bit rushed in this quarter.
How you talk about in their shirt or in their shorts. I like that little saying you said. Mantas was basically, he was closer to C.J. Wallace's jersey than C.J. Wallace was. He right up on him. That kind of aggressive defense, it's what I call man ball. They say, we're the man, you're the boys. Wow. Well, we're going to try a zone.
That's a 2-3 zone. Let's see if it's a worry if you lose sight of where Easton moves to. Lukauskas with a 3 that is off. Valerio the rebound. Now they've got numbers on the break. Oh, dear me. But look at how quickly Rytas get back. All 5 goes. Valeri to the basket. Reverse layup. Wallace working hard, gets to the board. And if it's not going for you because your offense isn't functioning, you've got to work hard. And Wallace comes up with a 2. 2-3 zone again by Benetton. A little bit small at the back on this side. Let's see if Rytas can exploit that. Easton will shoot this off the dribble for 2. Nails it.
He's just a smart player, mate. He doesn't do any one thing well. We talked about it before. He's just a baller. You know, he's like he's Larry Bird with dark hair and no leaps whatsoever, no quickness.
Now we've got a foul on the penetration and 1. That's an interesting interpretation when the foul was. Lukauskas is called for the foul. Gary Neal gets his own personal tallies ticking over again. And Benetton have finally, in this second quarter, got the scoreboard ticking over. There's the reverse angle, penetration, hand in the back.
Well, I guess they called the foul on the hack down, the chop down. Fair enough. I'll say this. Herculean effort that's been put in by Rytas to get back in the game. Well, not only back in, but get out in front. They would love nothing more than the halftime whistle to go right about now. They need to regroup. You know, it's a big effort to get ahead. Benetton is going to have their run. You would rather, if you're Lietuvos, you want that run to happen in the 3rd or 4th quarter, not with a minute to go at the end of the first half. They want to go in between 6 and 10 points up, not between 4 and 6. Because they've done so much to get here. You want to be able to look and say, wow, look what we've done.
Well, there's been no panicking on this Benetton bench. They've thrown in a little zone here at the end of the second quarter and nothing else. At least it's going to give Coach Mahmoudi the chance to see what Lietuvos Rytas are going to do against the zone. So that's a nice move by Coach Mahmoudi, just to have a look, see what he's going to face if he does need that zone later in the game. A little bit of protection for somebody like Valeri, for example, not picking up fouls. Got to talk about these guys. What great to play. I know there's not that many of them there, but those guys following you all over Europe, what a great plus that must be for you as players.
Well, you always said there's always Lithuanian fans wherever you travel and you play against across the world. There'll be some of them will turn out, and these guys here, as you said, they're passionate, real, genuine fans and supporters of the club.
Well, they lead by 5 now. They're enjoying themselves in this first half. 45-40, last minute to go. Rytas would probably take a 7-8 point lead at this point going into the half because they've earned it in this second quarter. Here's Easton against this 2-3 zone. Let's see if they're going to go to the corner. Now they've got the defense adjusted. They weren't quick enough to try and overload that defense. Easton almost turns over, and that's
a silly foul.
Wallace just got carried away trying to chase that loose ball. He knows it.
Yeah, you can talk about what kind of ball anything is from the referee. That's a foul, Sunshine, in anyone's book.
Well, it's
the vagaries of youth, just a little bit over-enthusiastic. You know, I said early on that he didn't seem like he was really focused and ready for this game, but he's young, he's learning, and it's first time to play in a competition of this sort of ilk, if you like. That's a violation by Benetton. They've got 4 guys on the free throw line.
Well, that's interesting, and
somebody needs to step up. The referee's actually duty-bound to tell somebody to step away.
Let's see what happens here. And this someone has moved off.
On purpose.
No, they've moved someone out for the second one.
Gosh, I've got a future as a referee.
I'll tell you, I'm a little bit concerned about, you know, picking up technicalities like that, but...
I'm batting for the other team, aren't I?
47-40.
Big play here, big play.
Neal for 2, off the dribble, doesn't get the drop. And Rytas need to take some ticks off it now. Take some ticks off the clock. Move the basketball.
Well, they're sitting in that zone, but they've gone back to a man. But it's a bit more tentative now.
Vegas fancies it long on free early. Petrovic was pushed by Nesajevic,
but Mark, look at the hustle on the rebounds there. Petrovic keeping that alive. Sheer hustle. If they can maintain this intensity throughout the second half, it's going to be tough for even Sandra Niskovic to lead Benetton back to it.
Wow, and also one of the advantages you have playing on the first day is you get a day off. I mean, the teams you play tomorrow have to play 3 games straight if they're going to be the Eurocup champion. These teams, and Hemofarm get a day off. Obviously, if you're Dynamo Moscow, you get a few days off. But
get all the days off you want.
Here's Bileri, 18 seconds on the game clock. Shoots the 3, and sweetly strokes it. 10 seconds now. Important now for Rytas if they can get a good shot, get some momentum going into the half. Eaton wants it himself, kicks it. Zavakas gets to the basket, is fouled. Good decision by Zavakas. Got Rancic in the air and thought, right, I'm going to draw another foul. I'm going to go to the free throw line and make it. And then we're going to trust our defense to make it hard for Benetton.
That's just good basketball is what I'll say. That is it. The end was a foul. Rancic frustrated because he did get to slap the shot away at the end, but Zavakas drew the contact. And that boy, Chuck Edson again, penetrates, sucked the whole defense in all the time, knowing he was going to kick it back for the foul line jump shot.
It's the thing that really separates the style of game from some of the stuff we see here. It's the decisions and the reading of the game. And every player in that Rytas team moved, so they were an easy pass for Eaton. Here's Benetton trying to get that shot. Lebek gets it away and almost gets the bank shot, but doesn't make it. And it's about Rytas. It's about Rytas' second quarter. And we get a chance here. 31 points to 16 in that quarter. 49-43. Look at the complete turnaround in that second quarter. And we're going to get a chance here to hear what Gary Neal thinks of the situation here at halftime. Here's Gary Neal courtside with Robbie.
You started off very brightly, you know, the first quarter. Second quarter, you allowed Rytas to come back into the game. Can you explain what happened?
I mean, they're a good team. I mean, we didn't expect to come in here and win by 30 points. So, you know, we knew it was going to be a fight, you know, throughout the whole game. So I think right now we're down 6. You know, that's 2 possessions. So, I mean, we're definitely in the game. So we just got to continue to play hard and execute.
You got plenty of experience out there as well. So, you know, we expect something different, a different game plan for the second half?
No, we're just going to continue to do what we do. You know, if we get a couple rebounds and don't give them offensive rebounds, and, you know, maybe the score is different. So we just have to continue to execute our game plan that Coach Mahmoudi has drawn up for us, and we'll pull it out.
Go and join your mates. Thanks very much, Gary. Good luck for the second half.
Well, that's Gary. That's Gary Neal, and he's got some problems, but the man of the second quarter, really, Chuck Eaton, here he is.
Benetton has made a very aggressive start, but then you managed to get back in the game. What did you change in your way of playing?
I think we were a little more aggressive than we were at the beginning. They came out really hot, but, you know, we regrouped and made some shots.
What do you think you have to do now in order to keep the advantage and maybe win the match?
I think we got to keep playing hard. Rebound the basketball and make easy shots.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Wow, Chuck Eaton had a tremendous... We were talking second quarter. We were talking at the end of the first quarter about his numbers being zeros. Well, that's 14 points in that quarter. Tremendous performance by Eaton. Let's have a look at the stats here, Martin, and what stands out for you?
Well, you got to look at it across the board. It's the +5 rebounding. Percentages, are always going to be fairly evenly balanced. I mean, Rytas, we said they didn't shoot a free throw in the first quarter. Talk about becoming more aggressive. They shot 12 in the second. That's the big difference. Aggression. That's the difference between these two teams right now.
All right, well, if you want to see aggressive basketball, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a commercial break. Rytas or Benetton for the semi. Well, welcome back to Turin, and a lot of thinking to do for both coaches for very, very different reasons after that second quarter. There's a recap on the stats. When you're looking at those stats, Mike, Coach Mamouti, during that half-time, what do you think he should be keying on?
He's furious about being beaten on the boards. He's furious by the fact that we've caused 9 turnovers and yet we're down by 6 points. He's furious that we're being out-hustled. He's furious that they're playing with more heart than we are in our own country.
Well, that's I 100% with you. And if they don't come out trying to, on a personal pride level, they've got to step up that effort level, haven't they?
I don't see on this team, and I said to you at the halftime, I didn't like the interview that Gary Neal came because he didn't look like he was upset or angry about this. I don't see from their first half performance who or which players are going to step up and give that fire. They need someone to give some real toughness out there. Nicevic is going to be there. He does his thing. He's already got a ranking of plus 17. It's going to be the Italian guys. It's going to be Valeri, Saragna. The fans are going to need to get behind them. Rancic, I think, can give more. I would have liked to have seen Rudo and Renzi play more minutes in the first half, but it's too late now. You know, these guys aren't going to come up big second half.
Well, I'll be interested.
I think you'll find that Coach Mamouti would have been kicking chalkboards, or whiteboards, I guess they have now, so throwing chairs around. He would have been cursing them out in Turkish, Swedish, and every other language he knows.
Well, he knows a few as well, so that could have been an interesting locker room. The other thing is, and they're still not doing it, they've still stayed with the same starters. We saw them earlier in this competition. They could have gone a little bit smaller. They're going to be more mobile, but they've stayed with the 5 that started. Well, in saying that, these were the 5 guys that sparked that first quarter, and that's what they need to do now. They trail 6 points. Savage finds Spirane, doesn't want to shoot it. Valeri puts it on the floor. Wallace for 3 is nailed. Well, that's not the play I'd have called at the start of the quarter. Judson Wallace for the 3, but had his feet set, a lot of time, knocks down the 3.
Took a good shot for him. Let's see if that builds his confidence up. I like that move, though. Get it down in the gut.
Nice move. They count that? They counted that?
They have.
Yeah, that's...
Again, what I said, Mark, about Sandro Nicevic, you got to take it right at him. And he rarely jumps. That time he did jump, commits the foul. Only his second. It's amazing how he's played so many, 18 minutes in the first half, and he picked up 1 foul. The war that we've seen on the board so far, great. I like that choice by Rytas, so right down the gut, get Treviso established, and get the lead. You know, you have 3, I'll have 3 as well.
Yeah, well, Treviso gets the foul, gets the extra point from the free throw line, as you were after that. Wallace in the block now, guarded by Zekas, goes to the baseline, and it's a turnover. Again, excellent defense, but no one on that Benetton team moved on the perimeter. Here's Edson, thinks about it, goes inside. Well, Petrikas has had it both times, and he's called a foul with a step. The Savage thinks, hey, you've obviously missed, can't really recognize me. I don't get called for 2 in a row. Are you sure it's me? Let's have a look.
You say to the referee, saying, my name's Sandro. That's a horrible call.
That's, to be fair, I've got a little bit sympathy with him on that one.
And this is worrying times now for Benetton, because Nicevic rarely sits down with foul trouble, but when he does, there's pressure now is going to go on C.J. Wallace to try and guard the big fellas inside.
Rukalskis for 3 is no good. Inside, outside for Rytas as they try to build on this 6-point lead. Valeri, nice pass, and we got a foul down the other end.
Yeah, and you know what? That's part of the makeup. The quarter for Nicevic at the other end, we got a quarter at the other end. But again, because of the aggression by Rytas, there's a foul. I mean, it's more of a foul than the one I just saw in Nicevic. It's not a bad call. Oh, there's a big mismatch out there somewhere.
Oh, they come up with a turnover on trying to find the ball into the mismatch. Here's Edson. Great effort on the break, and we're getting it called for the travel. Yeah. Well, it's a little bit of error city here as Both teams are finding ways to make mistakes. Let's hope both of them get them all out of their system after the start of the second half. There's the movement of that pivot foot. And there's the travel. He doesn't like it, but it's a good call to me.
Great body strength by Rancic there. Hats off to the young fella.
Well, here's Wallace, who finds Bileri. Comes off that high post pick. Wallace dives to the basket. Inside Rancic, tries to put it on the floor, finds Gary Neal. Gary Neal thinks about the long three. Edson does a good job, forces him left, gets to the keyway, and takes a tough shot.
And I'll tell you something else, Mark. That little move stunt that Gary Neal pulled in the first half, that's why he doesn't get a foul called as well, because referees, a bit like elephants, they never forget.
Another offensive rebound by Rytas as Edson that calls the play. The early shot, good rebounding in the broken play. Petrovicus is at the high post, gets it back to Edson. High post pick and roll. On the dribble, fakes. Called travel. I'm not so sure about that one. I thought his pivot foot was pretty still. Here he goes up. There he's still step.
He changed feet.
No, he did, yeah. Yeah, good call again. Officials are never wrong, they tell me. And here are Bileri. Game looking for a little bit of shape here at the start of the second half. Bileri still on the dribble, finds a layup. Everyone forgot he had the ball.
The old school trick when the big man stepped on the pick and roll, and then as he goes back to find his man, just follow him. I used to play with an American guy called Randy Duck who said, I'll run behind the back of a big man like he's blocking in American football.
Just finds Zakazez, gets the three away, is no good. He hasn't made one all game from that spot. He will, he definitely will though if they keep going to him. But as you say, Wallace did a good job on the glass. Bileri finds Wallace in the block. Oh, wide open was Rancic, didn't make him. And looked like there was something on that. Wallace isn't happy, but Edson got a piece of it.
Yeah, he's got it. This is, as I said to you at halftime, it's a man's game out there now, CJ. You don't bleat to the referees. Take your possession and score the ball like a man.
No structure at all there to the Rytas offense. Both teams are struggling at the start of this second half to just get that tempo and rhythm to their offense.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, you know what's worried about that? That referee is telling Bileri right now, go and talk to Wallace and tell him to shut up.
Well, he's got going to get a timeout, and both coaches really need to re-establish the intensity and execution they had at stages in the first half. Well, you can see the intensity in this timeout, the passion of it, but there we go. Look, you can see on the board there, spreading the floor, looking to penetrate to the middle. And there's another, got some experiences. It's about attacking the middle for them and spreading the floor. You made that point in the first half.
And they've got away from that a little bit. You know, things have gone a bit easier for them than I guess you probably would have expected. And Coach Kodonaitis has played this smart. He's downplayed their chances. He said, look, we're a very young team. We've achieved all our goals. Look, we got to the Final Four of the Baltic League, Final 8 of Eurocup, won the Lithuanian Cup. Life is good for us, no pressure. We don't expect anything of Benetton. They're playing at the home, you know, in Italy. How difficult it's going to be for us. He gets his team in the locker room and says, right, guys, I've covered your backs now. Go there and give me your heart. You've got nothing to lose. And that's the trick he's played with his players.
Well, here we're coming out that timeout. Let's see who has the effect. Here's Salanga. Finds Wallace. Nice little touch on the pass. Rancic misses the two. Chance here for Rytas to run. Will get numbers down the floor. Germantas picks it up. Needs someone to give the ball to. Could get tied up. He's got a throw. Nice pass. Treviso goes up and finishes. And that's what we've criticised him in the past for, finishing weakly. That time,
he took it up solid. Strong, but you know what? CJ Wallace is not Sandro Nisovic. He's gone up against a much bigger, lightweight as far as he's concerned. And just good execution, good strong basketball play by both teams, because we were ignoring that great touch pass CJ Wallace made.
Wallace for three from the same spot they made the first. Edson, smart play on the rebound. Germantas pushes the ball and holds it up, gets the play called. They lead by 6. They're back a little bit in the rhythm they had in that second quarter.
They've got to get the ball moving now. They can't just stand behind the three-point line and one guy dribble it.
Gets the high post pick and roll, no real execution. They've got to shoot this pretty quickly, and we've got an offensive foul. And they got this organised because Germantas ended up with the ball at the point, and they never got going.
Edson called it, was like, great, you've called the you know, give me a break by taking the ball handling responsibilities away from him, but you got to pass the ball. You know, he dribbled around too much, and then Savackas in a place where that's all he could do, really. He was off balance, couldn't shoot the jumper, went to the basket, and...
Well, both teams in this third quarter, Benetton were great in the first quarter. Rytas came out on fire in the second. Both teams now, it's one of those nights. It's one of those we've got to win. The pressure's on. Both offenses struggling. Wallace, deep on the baseline, makes the two.
I'll say what I like about CJ Wallace, Mark. I've been hard on him about the blogs and all that nonsense and the highlights in his hair. He's getting aggressive offensively now, and he's shown some guts. He's stepping up and shooting the basketball.
Well, someone has to step into Nisevic's shoes, and it looks like it's Wallace at the moment. High post pick and roll. Edson comes off it. Thinks about it. Savackas is going to make one of those threes sooner or later. Turns it down this time.
Well, that's going so much of all night. That's Marko Belica.
Going up. Oh, that's going to kick it to himself. No, they're going to count that one. Ball didn't touch he didn't touch the floor after going up with it again.
But it was, you would say it was raked free by Wallace. Knocked it loose.
And here's Billeri. Well, both teams, it's a heart moment in the game. They've got to play hard with their heart. We've got a foul there. That's just weak as Lukauskas got caught behind Gary Neal. In the last place you want to be is behind Gary Neal, because he's going to pull up and pull the trigger on that shot quickly. It'll be a Benetton ball on the sideline. Both teams looking for some rhythm here. 56-50. It's a low-scoring third quarter as both teams try and grind it out here. Sparringer, first time his feet set, doesn't get the drop. Gary Neal works hard on the offensive boards and doesn't get it. Good effort there by Neal. Much better effort coming in here from Benetton. Savackas is going to sit down on 3 fouls. And that's not a bad little rotation back in as Petrovic comes back in after getting a bit of a blow.
Yeah, he's played big for them tonight, hasn't he? He's lived up to the challenge of playing against one of the best big men in Europe, Sandro Nisevic. This is a CV or resume builder here for Treviso. It's great performance by him so far.
Edson puts it on the floor, dribbles through. Lukauskas kicks it, comes off that screen as Germantas gets it. Lukauskas with the three, pulls the trigger, way short. Treviso is blocked on that offensive rebound, had no angle to work with. Chance here for Benetton to run. Well, if one team gets their offense going here, they could really open it up. And there's Billeri. He loves that little fade away on that pull-up off the dribble. And Massimo Billeri, the veteran, coming up and taking responsibility for this Benetton team. 52-56, they're clawing their way back into this game. Treviso at the high post. Gets it to Edson, gets to the basket. Wow. When you need your bets to set up.
You can't let him go left, and you can't let him put the ball on the floor, slashing into the middle. And I'm surprised that wasn't called down one. We've said before, he's got big, great hands, and just a great finish. I like the way Benetton's getting a lot more aggressive at the moment, and wow.
Oh, you can't miss that. It's a tremendous... See more backdoor cuts tonight than we've seen in a long time. Great execution offensively, but what a miss. Unbelievable.
That's what it was, Mark. It was a miss.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I said to you, I didn't like the first thing he said. I said, we're only 2 baskets behind us, nothing. I wanted to see a little bit of fire, a little bit of passion in his voice.
Germantas puts it on the floor, underneath the basket, Belica, and he gets the 2. Well, he's had an impact off that bench, 4 points quickly.
And great pass by Germantas. And Mark, I'll say something else as well. Rytas are basically beasting Benetton on the boards, on the inside. Billeri stepping up, Saragna stepping up. Where's this guy, Gary Neal, gone in the second half? Open 2. 15 points in the first half, donuts in the second.
Well, Belleri's never been the biggest offensive threat. He's misses from the three-point line. Edson, the signs are still good here for Rytas. Pulls up for the 3, way short. Well, this is where Deshaun Wood is a real handful. Finds Neal for 3. Oh, that's short too, and the whole rhythm has gone out of the offense of Benetton. And it will be a timeout for Benetton, and they need it. The lead has eked out to 8 points again, 60-52. It's all been about the effort. It's all been about the execution of Rytas defensively. Timeout. Benetton need this one badly. just at the end of this slow motion while his timeout's going on, you mentioned there in commentary, Gary Neal, his whole offense seems to have lost that rhythm and this smoothness it had early in the game.
Locked him up. They put the clamps on him. Lukauskas is chasing him around. He's denying him the open shots that he had, the open looks he got in the first half. It's just a solid defensive performance. Now, what the challenge for that young man, Gary Neal, is he's got to take his game to the next level. He's got to show what he can do. He's got to adapt his game to the situation. He's not been able to do that. And it's down to intensity. It's down to the confidence in your ability to get yourself up and do what you do. This guy was averaging 25 a game in the Turkish league last season. That's the kind of numbers he's got to come up with.
Well, these guys are enjoying their trip to Turin at the moment. Listen to this noise. One of the things that came out in those stats for me is just a phenomenal shooting percentage here by Rytas. Benetton have got to play some defense to get back in this. Turnover, and there's a technical foul. I think that's
Valeri, I think
it's Valeri, or is it Wallace, because they both had a bit of a say.
Oh no, it's Wallace.
Yeah. And it's that's been a technical waiting to happen.
They're arguing the referee all the way.
And surprise, surprise, Eadson's going to go to the free throw line. He takes the responsibility again.
I was about to say, it's not because he's the best free throw.
It's not, no.
Because he's got the confidence to shoot those things.
There's plenty of better free throw shooters percentage-wise on this team, so I'm not sure if it's the smartest move in the world as he goes 0 from 2. It's all very well showing the leadership, but
got to make the shots.
He's the 4th worst free throw shooter on the floor at the moment for...
I'd have put Lukauskas on the line.
Yep.
In fact, just about anybody else of the 5 out there than him.
On the floor, comes back to the middle. Babarauskas back in the game after having to sit down with the fouls early in the game. Belisha goes and rolls to the basket. Goes up. What a strong move by Milko Velika. What a nice move.
Wow, that's a strong, aggressive pass. But Valeri was really aggressive defensively, and Bjelica just took it right up to the cup. Exactly what we asked for big men to do. Just get it high on the backboard and let the ball do the work for you.
Well, I'm loving this performance by Rytas at the moment. But Wallace, well, after that stuttering start to this quarter, both teams knocking down shots now. Game on, 62-55. Benetton have got to play at this end. Got to get some stops.
And finally, C.J. Wallace has got the look in his eye of a man trying to win a basketball game.
Deshaun Woods called for the reach. You don't need to let a team off the hook with a reaching foul. The dribble was going towards the halfway. I know there's a screen there, but there's no need. You can't be reaching there. Sideline ball for Rytas.
He might get away with that pickup basketball in the summer.
Super move. The footwork was incredible by Petrovikas. Excellent pass, excellent cut. Well, that's just because this, as a country, they just teach their people to play basketball. Valeri to the basket is no good. Rancic with a strong rebound gets the follow. Wow, where's this been for the first 8 minutes this quarter? Oh, no, are they going to call that?
And if that's...
well, this is interesting. Referee's going on. What's he going to have? What's going on? And I think now they've called another. That's 2 technical fouls on Massimo Valeri.
Well, that just shows the home team aren't having things their own way, and that's going to be his 4th foul, I think, or this his 4th foul.
Well, Valeri is...
when he took that bump on the head, he must have lost a bit of his sense, because that, in any country, any place in the world...
Well, we talked about Massimo Valeri as a veteran earlier in this game, and there he is, 4 fouls, sitting on the bench.
This frustration is because the Benetton players recognise that they're being out-hustled at the moment. The best team on paper is not winning. On paper, the names and the stats say Benetton, but names and stats don't play the games. You know, we play on the court, and the men on the floor right now, it's the men in the silver, black and red of Rytas that are stepping up.
Well, this is the smarter move. Lukauskas, who is a near on 90, well, even he's missed one, but he's a 90% free throw shooter, so he makes one.
They're playing smarter basketball, they're playing more aggressive. Benetton has still got to run in them, I'll say that. Their load's not shot completely yet. But it's looking very good for the men from Lithuania at the moment.
Well, there'll be more people starting up their engines in Lithuania if they make the semi-final. They got 48 hours to get here, so the crowd could grow phenomenally. That's a great lead pass. Wallace, I think you're right, Mike, what you said about Wallace. He's starting to look like he wants to be the player to step up.
He's stopped thinking about Super Mario Kart. He stopped thinking about blogging. He started focusing on his Princeton reunion Vegas trip. He's focusing on what's happening on the court now, and you can see now why he's on this team. He's a strong, aggressive young man, and if he played like this for 40 minutes, I think we'd have a different story on the scoreboard.
Well, fouls, as always in these types of games, are beginning to become a foul factor. Lukauskas picks up his 4th foul and sits down. Oh, Wallace wasn't expecting that. Good job by Ranches to chase that down. Deshaun Wood controls it now for Benetton. Neal comes off the screen. Good chasing there. Babaralkas just followed him. Neal pulls up and nails a 3. Wow, 65-60.
But Brad's will be frustrated because he just took a 3 in his face, but he had a hand up, he contested it. If you get beat by a guy making jumpers like that all night, you got beat by the better team. That's all. There's nothing you can do about that.
Rytas, Belicha. Oh, come on now. You don't make that call now. We talked about... let's have a look at that. This is quarterfinal, 3rd quarter, 20 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, and they've called an offensive foul on the inside, I think. I'd love to have a look at that one again.
Well, that's the kind of call that happens at this level. I'll never understand the minds of the men with the whistles.
There was nothing really. There was just people banging around in the post. Well, if we're going to call those things anything, they're going to be calling everything all game. Here's the last shot of the 3rd quarter. Wallace with a pick. Deshaun Wood passes, kicks it. Lorbeck to the basket. Oh, what a nice move. Where has he been? Where has he been on that bench? Damian Lorbeck, I think he's taken 2 shots. He's made a 3, made a 2. Well, that's a big, big, big play at the end of the 3rd quarter. Lorbeck off the bench with a nice penetration. Makes it a really close 65-62 game. Rytas still holding on to the lead. Semi-final place against Hema Farm at stake. Come back after the commercial break. Well, welcome back to Turin. Earlier on, Hema Farm gets to the semi-final in the big upset against Moscow. And these two teams with 3 points between them, 65-62, are 1 quarter away from facing the boys from Serbia in the semi-final. Here's one of the maddest moments I've seen in a while from an experienced player. Baleri comes up and picks up a technical foul, his 2nd technical foul.
Technical foul, and you know, it's rare. A coach will let you get away with 1, but wow, I mean, Coach Mahmoud's got to be frustrated with himself for having a guy there that gets 2 technical fouls.
Well, strong move, but got off balance at the end of it. They got inside again early in the quarter. Excellent.
I told you, Mark, that Sandro Nisvic will start the quarter, he won't pick up another foul. And that's exactly what happened, right at his gut and nothing called. Good defense, though.
Gary Neal with a floater, doesn't get the drop. That's not really what he needs. He needs to get his feet set, shoot the decent range 2 or the 3. But none of this soft touch.
They need to go back to Nisvic in the low post, what they need to do. That's what Sandro does. He'll score good buckets for you. And this is bad sign for Rytas.
Yo Mantas with the ball is bad.
Dribble a hole in the floor.
Well, finds Belicha, who's way short. That's not his game either. That's not Rytas basketball.
Reality, that's a good shot for him when he's in the flow. He's not in the flow at the moment.
But these are important minutes for Rytas without Eidson on the floor. This is about trying to buy some time while Eidson gets a blow on the bench.
And he won't be much of one if their offense goes like it just did before. And I'll take this foul, by the way. You know, if you let a big man get 3-4 dribbles in a low post, he should either score or draw a foul, and that's exactly what, especially if you go one-on-one, and that's what happened there for Rancic.
Well, here's Rancic, who is not a good free throw shooter.
Is that a 3rd one he's missed tonight? Or
I think it's more. I think
it's 1 for 5 now.
Yeah, he's not a good free throw shooter. He doesn't look like a good free throw shooter. Nothing flows on the line, and he's missed both. So nice foul on the inside for if you're a Rytas fan. Here's Belicha, puts on the floor, great decision. Tremendous decision, great recognition, just took it at Rancic. Rancic was half asleep.
You just don't see guys of that size, you know, 2'7", just faking the handoff for the pick and roll to the point guard and taking it up to the basket. Good foul by Ranchik, because he was about to be Dunksville otherwise.
He's not had a great start. Misses his throws, goes to sleep. And Wallace comes back into the game, and here's Belika. Now, Belika's not a bad free throw shooter. He's a pretty solid free throw shooter.
Confidence, so it's all about confidence. As long as now, this is the crucial thing for Rytas now. I said that Benetton would make their run. They're making it now. For Rytas, they need to keep their nose in front. It will be very difficult to get back over the hurdle if Benetton get ahead.
2 from 2 for Belika. He makes both. Here's Deshaun Wood, though. 67-62. And Rytas, there's Edson's rest. He's back in, and they still have the lead. Deshaun Wood penetrates, finds Lorbeck. Misses his first shot of the night. Misses that 3. Chance here for Rytas. They lead 5. Good kick ahead. There's the pick and roll for Petrovikas. Belika to the basket again. Gets the... Oh, knocked away.
Guess who?
Well, it's a tough old life if you're trying to earn a living on the inside here. Body's being banged around.
You know who knocked that ball loose off the rim, and there's a foul about to be called for Nistovic. They're great post-up sealed in there by the big fella.
Deshaun Wood finds Gary Neal.
Neal needs to be testable on the move.
And that's too static, as Benetton really were not moving on the pass. Everything was one pass stop, one pass stop. And Eidson almost came up with a turn. Only 4 seconds on the shot clock. That's why Mahmoudi's taking the timeout. He needs to get, 4 seconds is enough time to get a good shot. He needs momentum. He doesn't need this Rytas run to build. It's an important time here for Benetton. They need a shot out of this 4 seconds at the end line. Just to explain that, the momentum's with Rytas. They've only got 4 seconds. The last thing they need is a bad shot here, Benetton. Could be a big momentum play if they get a good shot out this end line play.
Yeah, of course. It's a big momentum play for either team. And then the camera's focusing on Gary Neal, expecting him to come up with something big. Benetton need a bucket. Rytas need a stop. We're in chess time here. This is coach versus coach, trying to figure out how the ways to unlock positive plays for their team. Momentum, intelligence, aggression, all the work you've done for the last 35 minutes or so, that's what will determine what goes forward now in the next 6 or 7.
Well, this is a big play. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Interesting to see what Coach Kurdanidis does here. If he comes up with something different on the end line just to throw whatever play's been called out of this from the Benetton timeout, but only 4 seconds on the shot clock. Big momentum players, a long time to go in the game, but it could be a real big momentum play. Try to get Neal open off the screen, and they'll get the ball on the sideline this time, just deep in the corner. No time came off the clock. Didn't look the most sophisticated out-of-bounds play. We're on the sidelines. It was knocked out here. They're going to get Gary Neal coming off of the Sajovic screen. If they switch, he could be open himself. And it's knocked away again. Excellent job by Rytas, switching on everything.
I like the aggression now, because if it's still 4 seconds on the clock, but to Benetton it feels like it's 2. They feel like there's ticks knocking off the clock constantly. This is actually
not a bad entry. He's going to go up, got to step through, whistle, and a foul. Oh,
that's a dreadful call.
That's an awful.
A star system call. Mark, I'm sorry to say that is a dreadful call.
Well, that's Sajovic in the block, picks up the... That's a huge call in terms of the situation in the game, the fouls on Petrovikas and Sandro Nistovic. Let's have a look. Where is the foul?
That is... wow.
Well, the ball sometimes knows a lot more than any commentator or anyone else, and Sandro Nistovic doesn't get any benefit from that call, except that 1 as opposed to the 2.
Yeah, but it's chipping away. They were down by 9, weren't they? Now it's down to 5. And I suppose at some point in time we're going to get to Chuck Edson time, and that's where we're going to see now if he can carry that team. Great pass.
Zakras comes up, and he still hasn't made a shot. Statistically, he has struggled to score, and he's normally a very, he's averaging like 8-9 points a game. Normally makes at least 2-3 jumpers, hasn't made a jump shot all game. Lorbeck Picks it up. Nisevic, well, they won't worry about Nisevic that far out. Lorbeck, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Good defense, but Lorbeck stays with it, gets to the basket. Well, we keep talking about these Slovenian guys, and he just stayed with the play. Gets the nice shot.
Where's he been tonight? They went with Valeria a bit too long. Lorbeck stepped up big, the difference maker.
Here they are. Zavakis, it's a nice pass. What are we going to get called here? And it should be a foul on this. That's a foul on the Savic, or they called Lorbeck off on the perimeter. I think they've called the Savic. That puts both the big guys on 4.
Let's see.
Oh, we need a caption. I think, yeah, the camera knows. So Sandro and the Savic picks up his 4th foul.
He's picking up his 4th. That's a... You know what? Neither one's a foul.
No, it's... possible reach, but I still didn't think there was anything to call. But anyway,
they had to call it because of that weak thing they called at the other end.
So Petrikis,
that's a big difference, because now they're sitting Nisevic down. Hats off, Rancic has played really well tonight. So, but there's a lot expected of him, because Nisevic now has got to sit at least for the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Well, both big guys now are on the bench. Belika's got to come up big for Rytas. What a rebound by Babarauskas. Edson for 3 is short. Belika keeps it alive. 2 back-to-back offensive rebounds. Rytas just working themselves so hard, wanting this semi-final place here in the Eurocup. New 24-second, which is already down to 12. Edson wants the ball, wants to make decisions for his team. Inside here. Belika goes to work.
Carry. Same official. It's almost like he's trying to get himself. he wants his image on the Eurosport website.
Wow.
Afterwards, to show that he won the game.
Wow, what a pair of games we've already had. 67, 65 at the moment. The toothless Rytas with the 2-point lead. It could all go back to a Benetton lead on this play. Nearest to the basket is fouled by Babarauskas. Babarauskas is 4th foul. 6:21 in the game. Well, this is where the bench strength of teams is going to be tested. There's an obvious foul. Gary Neal will go to the 3-throw line. Has to earn his points from the stripe. He's staying down. He's been down for a while now. Something on his back.
Back spasm by the look of things.
Holding down there, pushing down hard on the back. These are big, big moments for Benetton.
Yeah, it looks like a cramp or a winded.
Let's have a look. See if we see him go down. Banged on the back.
No, it seems like...
Oh, he sits up. Oh, it looks like Wallace has hurt him.
This looks like Wallace. Oh.
Wallace is... Oh, it looks. I think he slips and falls on him.
Oh, wow.
We shouldn't laugh, but...
No, we shouldn't laugh, because you know Gary Neal's sitting there saying, why'd you do that to me?
Well, this is very, very... Getting another replay of it now.
Comes sliding in from the back. Neal's sitting up saying, yeah, I'm fired up, and all of a sudden, bang! Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Oh, he's dead.
Well, he's walking now, the walking wounded, Gary Neal. Not sure if it was the contact on the foul or if it was...
got it with a knee in the gut. I think maybe a muscle bump or knock or something like that.
Well, they bring a 90-plus free throw shooter on to take the throws. That's a smart move. I don't think Matteo Saranga is going to disappoint. He literally is 92% from the... He very, very, very rarely misses. And with this free throw, with 6:21 to go, we could have a tied ball game. And there it is, 67-67. Semi-final place on the line, 6 minutes to go. Well, you cannot ask for better than this. Edson picks it up. Zavakis, who still hasn't made a perimeter shot. He's not even looking at the basket now. Edson is fouled and doesn't make the shot. The referee blew the whistle. Wallace is just frustrated. And I'm not sure when the call was made, so it's that man there again who's going to get called for the foul, Radoslav Rancic, and the fouls are just mounting up.
That's 5, it's his.
Radoslav Rancic doesn't like it.
That's him, he's gone now. What do? You bring Nisevic?
Well, I think they're calling it his 4th foul on the caption.
Okay.
But Eatson on the free throw line.
Now, Rich, he needs to make these now. No messing around anymore, Chuck. If you're going to be the MVP.
MVP steps up, goes 2 from 2 from the line, 69-67. I know we made our calls before this game. I can't call this one now because...
Oh, throw that away. Just before the game, I had a feeling that the Rytas were going to be overlooked a little bit, but now it's just, well, it's made the best man win. Both teams are worthy of a semi-final place at the moment.
And here's Deshaun Wood trying to run something. They were going nowhere, and it's the MVP with a dunk. Worry for the Rytas bench. Looks like he's pulled something on that. We got Gary Neal, the leading scorer for Benetton, on the floor. We've got Eatson pulling a hamstring almost on that dunk. Backdoor cut by Deshaun Wood. That's a hell of a matchup for Eatson. They've missed switch now, so that Babrauskas has Deshaun Wood. Wide open, Rancic for 3, nails the 3. Where did that come from?
Shot, and that's just this big, gutsy play, stepped up.
Oh, my word, here we go. 70, the scoreboard hasn't ticked over. 70-71. Eatson on the floor, turns it over. It's straightforward. He's bitching about it, but there's nothing wrong with that. He just lost control of the basketball. The shirts are off. The painted faces of the Rytas supporters are standing up. Well, this is what it's about. Final 8 action in Turin. We just shot Wood to the hoop. Doesn't get the layup. Why not make it with your left hand?
Got 5 on 4.
Oh, gonna make something here, and there's a whistle. Some
technical foul. I think you're gonna find it's on
Deshaun Wood. Yep, looks like. Well, what we got?
No. They caught a tech on Curtinitis.
What?
What are they called?
What have they called? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on here. We're gonna need from where we're. Something technical's been called. Not a foul, I don't think.
Or turnover.
Some sort of turnover.
Right.
Doesn't matter. 71-70. We're back where we were before. Deshaun witnessed a wide open layup. Defense has stepped up a notch now. Jomantas got through. Wallace releases. Got a foul. Both teams have just got to be smart now. You know, both teams are going to be intense. They're going to want to make things happen. And there's the foul by Belice, which...
execution now, because I think you've got to execute offensively. Defensive, just play smart. Play with your feet, not your hands.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting inbound pass to Deshaun Wood at the halfway line. 4:30 to go in the fourth quarter. Eurocup quarter-final action on Eurosport 2. Speranga for 3. Way off Speranga. Didn't even look like it was going to hit the rim. Well, apparently we've had a report from the old Benetton bench there, and it's stomach spasms. Probably had something to do with Wallace kneeing him in the stomach.
6'10" guy sticks his knee in your gut and you get a spasm. A spasm of frustration, maybe.
Babrauskas just hurls one from the three-point line. What a job by Belika. Almost recovers that, but...
Wow, Babrauskas, that's not what you're hired to do, Sunshine. That's the man who should have the ball in his hands. Chuck Edson.
Well, here we go. Deshaun Wood. Well, they got the decision makers in the backcourt, Deshaun Wood and Billeri. They've taken Lorbeck off, which I still can't work out. Billeri comes off the screen, catches the basketball. And we're gonna get a foul call. Jomantas for the reach. Jomantas has been involved in every piece of action from minute 1. Let's have a look. There's the foul. Good call by both officials. He's got the ball now, but you got the ball now because you took both arms off. And that's only his second foul by Arturas Jomantas. I don't think that'll be the last you'll see of him.
Well, getting a little offense-defense at the moment. Trying to go big now on offense with Nicevic on the bench. Treviso's coming in.
Well, Billeri has the chance here to give Benetton their first lead in a very long time. The scores have been tied, but this will put Benetton into the lead.
And this is a big play, as I said earlier on, about 7 minutes to go. Rytas to win this game need to keep their nose in front. They do not want to fall behind.
And they do. 72-71.
It makes everything that much more pressure, a little more tense, more tight. We've only scored 6 points in 6.5 minutes in this half. A little bit this quarter. Got to get Edson's got to be able to make things happen for you.
Beautiful play. Movement, absolute excellent. No one stood still on that whole play, and Beliga gets a layup.
And Chuck Edson, the architect and the deliverer, making the lovely drop-up pass off of Bielica, who finished a strong layup.
Buleri pulls up for three. I don't see that as the primary option. Saranga's got a great three-point percentage with his feet set. He doesn't even get the ball. Edson pulls up, doesn't get the drop. Deshaun Wood thinks about it and decides, no, we're going to go into the half court. They've not really exploited that matchup with Edson and Deshaun Wood in pace. Here's Rancic way outside. Puts it on the floor. Whoa! Throws it down. It was done to him. He decided to repay the debt on that one. Big play by Rancic. Defense cheated, he just threw it down their throat.
Who needs Sandro Nisevic? We got Radoslav Rancic.
Wow, here we go. It's a one-point game. Benetton, Lukauskis for three, nails it! Nails it. Wow, there you go, 76-72. We started the coverage of this competition with Lukauskis having a huge game at home from the three-point line. Well, he could be doing it again tonight. Makes it from the three-point line. Buleri off the high post screen from Rancic. I do not like. Buleri's just trying too hard to do too much on his own. Loose ball picked up by Edson. He won't make a crazy decision now. Finds Lukauskis, just made one. Doesn't get the drop. Great hustle play by Rancic. It will be.
Who's he called a foul on? He's called it on the Rytas on Lukauskis.
Has he really? Let's have a look at
his fifth.
That's it. No, they called it on Buleri.
I had to say, you couldn't have called Lukauskis.
No.
That's a loose ball. You shouldn't have called a foul on anybody.
No, it's just loose. It's an interesting haircut with that cut, but Buleri, this is when he sits down and thinks about this in the cold light of day. How stupid was the second technical foul? He takes no further part, basically because of those two crazy technical fouls. Not because of the hustle play then, but because of the two technical fouls.
It's just coming down to sheer heart and hustle. There's been 3-4 loose balls now. You saw Treviso knock the ball loose. Then Buleri out-hustled by Lukauskis, so Buleri fouls out. At the other end, you got Deshaun Wood diving after loose balls. Meanwhile, everybody else is getting the ball for Edson with the fast break. Wow, this game here.
Nice lineup on the floor here for Rytas. Babrauskas is still in the game. Edson will handle the ball out of bounds. There's no Germantas. That's probably the only change we're a little bit surprised at. But Barauskas has done an excellent job defensively, so someone's got to play some defense.
And Zavakis is back in the game. He's got to make a shot at some point.
Sooner or later, percentages tell you he's going to make a shot.
Yeah, Edson's done this one-on-one.
And here he is. Zukalkas for three is long. What a rebound by Babrauskas. What a great, tremendous hustle play by Babrauskas.
Babrauskas has made 2 rebounds, Mark, both of them huge offensive boards.
Edson pulls up for 3, strokes it, nails it. MVP stuff from Chuck Edson. Gives them a 5-point lead. But don't forget, how did Rytas have that ball? Babrauskas with an offensive rebound. Hustle all the way for Rytas. They sit down at this timeout with the 5-point lead. What can you say? Babrauskas, we're talking about should he be on the floor? Well, what can you say?
I was talking about should he be on the floor.
I did.
He's played hard-nosed defense. He committed a lot of fouls. Great hustle, but it's all about this guy. It's Chuck time. You know, lights out. It's Edson. he's just been sensational from a quiet start. You know, Gary Neal, the superstars of both teams played up. Gary Neal, Lorbeck, who we haven't seen in a long time again. He's been the guy that's got them back in this. But this man here, Chuck Edson, just great hustle. And you know, we're in a position now. Even with a 5-point lead, I'm not convinced this game's over yet.
Well, Benetton are going to get the basketball at the halfway line. They don't need to take any time off the clock. They need to get it, just get a good shot. They got Lorbeck back in the game. Nasavich is back in the game. It's
a strange lineup though, because you've got Lorbeck back, you've got Nisevic, Rancic, Gary Neal. Okay, great. Who's at the point though? Deshaun Wood.
Yeah, it's going to be it has to be Deshaun Wood. There you go, Deshaun Wood.
No, see, they played with Saragna at the point before.
Don't like this. They're going to turn it over. Rancic, and they've got a foul call. Crazy. Rancic is going nowhere.
Done.
And you can see what Rytas thinks about that. He has him picking the ball up. He's going to pick it up, and we then look. He's going nowhere. Why, oh, why, oh, why? But then again, that's the intensity that has given these guys the opportunity.
He played like this the whole night.
Yep.
And the thing is, young Nebraska's has got to be smart enough not to commit that foul.
Well, Rancic.
Sure enough, Rancic, you know, is going to step up and make these. He was 1 for 5 or 1 for 4, so now he's due to make these.
No, he's only made 1.
Great rebound by.
There's, as you said, Chuck time. What vision! And there's Joe Mantas with the 2. 6-point game, 1:13 to go. Chuck Eadson, he's passed the ball, he's scored, he's rebounded. He looks, that's why he's the MVP. Rancic, Nisevic may have bought a foul there on Zavakis.
Sandro does it his way again. Smart play, draw the foul, stop the clock, get some points to the foul line.
I still don't see this. That's the sort of areas that we saw the game before where Matteo Saranga knocked down threes for fun with his feet set.
And Saranga can play at the 4th, but they've gone big now. You've got Rancic and Nisevic out there. Okay, that covers you off defensively, but look what you're up against. Zavakis, a 3-point shooting big man, and Treviso. You only need one of the big guys. I know they're both playing well. You need someone who can put some points on the board. That's the man. But it's not questioning the coach.
No, absolutely not. No.
Minute left. What do you do? Do you want to foul now? You got to play straight up defense now.
No, this is literally, you got to get a stop. Get a stop now. Score. Build again. It's a possession, second by second, possession by possession. Eadson almost gets it to Petrarchus. Wow. Nothing called, and it will be with 48.7 seconds. Benetton trying to keep Italian interest alive in this competition.
Gary Neal's almost like a decoy on the floor at the moment because he is hurting.
Oh, good decision by Wood. Got to make the layup though. And Rancic is on the ball. They will get the ball back. God, that's 2 layups now that Deshaun Wood has missed. Yeah, that was a little bit more of a tough shot, but that's 2 layups Deshaun Wood has missed at the sharp end of this basketball game. Well, can't get it in. The Savage, surely he's going to go up from here. Jump hook, doesn't get it. Own rebound, don't foul him. Doesn't get the drop. Petrarchus does, is fouled. Well, if you had said Sandro, the Savage or Rancic, we're going to get 2 looks at that, you'd have said they'll make 1.
Well, you know, that knows a game difference. What did I say to you earlier on in the game? Like I said, it'll be the team that converts the majority of its opportunities, that gets the baskets like that, the transition buckets, the stick backs, the offense, second chances converted, and that's exactly where Rytas have dominated. Now, Treviso isn't the best free throw shooter in the world.
Not at all.
So it might not be game over, but Rancic has just fouled out, I think.
Yep. Rancic is out. Petrarchus is just over 60% from the free throw line. He needs these. Well, there's 1.
I think he wants them.
Yep.
I'd rather be up 4 and miss 2 than down 4 and miss 2.
Well, if he makes these, it's a 6-point game with 32 seconds to go. Misses the 1. The Savage almost puts it in his own hoop. Here's Deshaun Wood. They need a quick but good shot. Wood penetrates. Awful pass, but Neal for 3. It's off. Lorbeck tries to keep it alive. This is going out of bounds. This will be a
ball. Oh, no.
Oh, hang on, there's a debate going on here.
I'm not saying the referees want to keep the Italian team alive here, but the referee looked awfully like he wanted to give that ball back to Benetton.
Well, Rytas, it's just one big defensive stop here and a quick 2, and they're still in the game. Benetton going to foul. No, they're not. Yes, they are. They've fouled with Wallace.
Got a foul.
Got a foul now. And who did they foul? If they fouled Savakis, he hasn't made a shot all night. From anywhere, I don't think. But Judson Wallace gets his 3rd foul. This isn't dead. 18 seconds is an eternity if...
An 83% shooter goes to the line.
But he hasn't made a shot all night. This is their pressure of the situation.
Walked away from that one, didn't he?
Zavakis is just... He's not feeling it. Now, he needs this one because it means 2-3 still only ties the game. Big shot. Semi-final. Still on the line here. Makes it. 6-point game. Deshaun Wood down the floor here. He's got to put the shot up. Oh, it's a turnover. And that should be... Oh, he's got it back. Just when I'm talking it up as it's over. Quick 2, Wallace makes the 2, 6 seconds. They need a foul or steal it straight away, and then foul or steal it straight away.
Forehead just takes his
Pass the ball. Davakis is fouled. The whistle's gone. 3.8 seconds on the clock.
Got to be about it.
Lietuvos Rytas from Vilnius.
Benetton fan in the building.
Oh, no.
That Rytas have done the unthinkable. They've turned over Benetton on their home floor. What a fascinating semi-final. We're going to have the kids from Serbia against the kids from Lithuania.
Well, this is what it's about. It's about kids who can play the game. And Zavakis even might be doing himself a favour for Saturday night here. Make some throws, get a little bit of confidence.
You said that, Mike. That's 15 points he's put up tonight. So he's quietly chipped away.
Just hadn't made a jump shot, had he? Got to the hoop a few times.
2 for 4 and he's 1 for 7 on the three-point line. That's it. Job done.
Job done for Rytas. Can't speak. You've got to love it. You've got to love it if you're Lithuanians. Those guys in the background, that however they've got here to Turin, by car, by bus, by plane, they have had a night to remember. We have had a night to remember here on Eurosport 2, as 2 upsets give us a semi-final on Saturday night of Lietuvos Rytas, the Himmerfarm Versailles. And wow, what a game that's going to be. But look at those numbers. 31 points in the second quarter is what did it for Rytas. But just their sheer intensity and their effort has been phenomenal, Martin.
Hustle, heart, passion. Those things that those fans have got, that's the difference between these two teams. Look at that. These guys have had self-belief. You know, they're all getting all pumped up. These guys here just put their heart and soul on the line. The first quarter went entirely the way of Benetton, and then from then on, just hardcore basketball.
Well, we got Robbie courtside, and we've got him with Judson Wallace. He must be so disappointed. Let's see what he's got to say with Robbie.
CJ, that was a very tense game. You had a great comeback in the third and the fourth quarters, but it just wasn't enough. Why was that?
I don't know. You know, it was a tense game. Thought we played hard. I mean, Rytas is a real good team. I mean, they won the Lithuanian Cup. They're going to be tough. You know, tomorrow against, or 2 days from now against Himmerfarm. I mean, it was a tough game. I don't know. I mean, we played hard. We played hard. It's tough when, you know, we had 3 technical fouls. That's always tough. It's partly our fault because, you know, mental, we got to stay stronger than that. But then I think the game got a little out of control as far as, you know, give and take with stuff like that. So, I don't know. I'm not going to say that, but we tried to play hard, and we missed some shots, and they made some shots, and we lost.
Do you think it was, it came down to those 3-pointers? A lot of 3-pointers missed tonight, played it part?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was that. I mean, you can never blame it on missing 3-pointers, you know. I thought we did a poor job, and that's a big part of my fault, not rebounding. They got a lot of second shots, and that anytime someone beats you rebounding and you miss 3-pointers, it's tough to win. So my hat's off to Rytas, and it's disappointing. We're a little happy we made it to the Final 8, but we definitely wanted more.
Was there also a turning point when Gary Neal came off with that stomach spasm?
I don't know. I mean, Gary played hard. He cramped up down there. That's just a testament to, you know, how hard he plays. And it's hot in here. The fans were great. Our fans were great. I'd like to thank them. And, you know, it was a great game. And I don't know. Hopefully, you know, we'll be back next year or in the EuroLeague. Who knows?
CJ, thanks for your time.
No problem,
and we'll see you soon. Okay, thanks.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Well, it's always difficult to speak to a loser in those situations. Obviously, Wallace is disappointed, but this will be a much more different interview with Chuck Edson.
Congratulations, guys, you did it. So you must be very happy because you're also the MVP of today's match.
Yeah, I'm happy. We didn't play real good, but we played good enough to win, so I'm very happy.
You know, in the second half, the Italian team managed to reduce the gap. Why did it happen? Did you get a little bit tired, or they just started playing better?
Oh, they played good, but I think fatigue played a little bit of a part. But, you know, we'll take it.
And what do you think about your next opponent, Himmerfarm?
They're young, so they can run all day. So it's going to be a good match. I love playing against Serbian teams. They're good teams, so it's going to be fun.
And you were so good at 3 points today, and you realized lots of shots. What's the secret? Maybe the fans who came here and they were supporting you so passionately?
Yeah, it's always good to see the yellow, green, and red here. They're real good fans, and it was good of them to come.
Thank you very much, and good luck in the semis.
Hey, Sammy! Hey, Sammy!
Well, what a performance Chug Eatson gave in every single statistical line. He rebounded, he had assists, he scored points, showed why he is the MVP.
23 points, 8 rebounds, drew 6 fouls. Not bad going by him. MVP, that proves it.
And you must be so relieved. And
here we are with Coach Rytas of Rytas. We're going to speak to him. We got courtside. They're just lining up the interview here. He must be such a happy coach.
Congratulations. You must be so relieved and happy after today's match because it was such a tight game.
Yeah, so I'm happy, but I'm very, very tired.
And how are you happy with the way you guys played?
Oh, it was not the best game, but anyway, it was enough to win tonight. So we can play better.
What was it what they did right in today's match that helped you reach the semis?
So maybe we was in better condition because last 5 minutes we can run and Benetton is just stopped. So in second one we make a lot of turnovers. It's not right in this level of competition. But anyway, we know our problems and we will try to stop them after tomorrow.
We have a big surprise in the semis, Hemafarm, a young team which proved to be a very good one. What do you think about them?
So it's a dangerous team. They are young like we. We are not so experienced, but we play with a heart. We want to win. We want to be loud. They are the same. It will be a good game, I hope so.
How important today's game was for the confidence of your players? Do you think that now they will feel even more hungry?
Yeah, now it's, you know, what I was talking before. It's in final, all team is the same. It's just one game. It's everybody got a chances to win. So we took our chance tonight, and now for sure we have some more confidence, and I don't know how we will take some rest. In a couple of days, I think we will be strong enough to play again.
Well, thank you very much. Congratulations again, and good luck in the semis.
Wow. Tremendous performance by Coach Rytas, and here's the statistics for tonight's game. 85-79, tremendous performance. 3-point statistics, not that impressive, but tremendous performance in every other aspect.
Rebounds, Mark.
Rebounds there, rebounds key.
Plus 10, they just really abused them on the boards. Hustle, heart, passion, the three things that made a difference between these two teams.
Well, Rytas are in the semi-final. It's a tremendous game here. One absolutely tremendous performance by Rytas. Well, this is the locker room. This is where they're going to be celebrating a little bit, but they know that in 2 days' time, on Saturday night, they play Hemafarm for a place in the Eurocup final. That wasn't the bookies' choice, but no one tells these guys what the odds are. They came out and did an absolutely phenomenal job. Hats off to Rytas, hats off to Hemafarm. Join us again tomorrow night on Eurosport 2 for the next 2 quarterfinals. Who will join these two teams, Hemafarm and Rytas, in the semi-finals of the Eurocup? Join us tomorrow night, but for tonight, it's good night from me and Martin Helen.
Yeah.